Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. So it's just going to be a quick update on this tool I'm building, kind of where it's at now, the direction I wanted to go in, and just kind of showing the basic features of it. It's kind of based around searching on crt.sh for subdomain enumeration for bug bounties, and possibly if you're a penetration tester, you may do web application security, and you need to enumerate subdomains for a target. So one of the fastest way to do that is to just go to crt.sh, the website here, and it's just a search. What this service does is it's a certificate aggregator. It checks for these certificate transparency logs. I'll leave the links at the bottom in the description if you want to just look and get more details on how the backend actually works for this service. And again, I had nothing to do with the development of this. It's just a tool that's commonly used. But this kind of explains a little bit of what it does. Your certificate transparency, so every SSL certificate that gets published has to be publicly available here. Just a quick description: certificate logs are simple network services that maintain cryptographically assured, publicly auditable, append-only records of certificates. So just to be able to kind of validate who the certificate was published by and when. So how it's used, though, a lot of the time is it's a good way to get subdomains for a target. So again, this is for bug bounties or web application testing. So for instance, one of the biggest public bug bounty programs out there is probably Verizon Media. If we look here and run a search on Verizon Media, you're going to see this insane amount of results we get back. This is the column we're most interested in, matching identities. This column here right in the center gives us just a URL to all these different subdomains that have been stripped and pulled out of the certificates as they get appended to the log. So in manual enumeration, you really just highlight it, open, and just see what's hosted on that endpoint. So here we have member services.public. We open it. So we have QA and we have member services. These are down right now. So we would kind of move on maybe. They don't look interesting to us right now. Helios, what is this? Not sure. Okay, so these are not found. We can close these, get rid of them. I'm going to close these now. But just to kind of show you how kind of time consuming this can be. We have API. That sounds interesting. Okay, not getting anything there. Tool.tab, not sure what any of these are, but this is how you start to get familiar with the targets you're attacking these. So here we have a SSO, so we have OAuth. We can start looking for things like token leaks, email attacks, SAML. We have Okta here, so we're probably going to have a SAML request. Developers, can look in there, see if they've added any source code, anything new that's changed that we can find and maybe attack first before other people get to it. We want to avoid all those duplicate reports. So it's a lot of sorting, though, as you can see, and there are a whole lot of duplicates because it's based on, I believe it's this ID column and the date as the primary and secondary key. So it's not going to sort by host name or by endpoint here, which is kind of mostly what we're interested in. So what my tool does, you get this little search button up here and just a single button right now. That I wanted to keep it just simple. It's just a proof of concept for now. But let's say we go to the same domain here, verizonmedia.com, and I'll just show you the difference in my tool. verizonmedia.com. Oh, and by the way, this is going to pull the results and scrape the results actually directly from a crt.sh search. So we're working with the same data you see here, and then we're just going to kind of manipulate that data and just kind of use it to our benefit as application testers and penetration testers or bug bounty hunters. So verizonmedia.com, find subdomains. It's going to clear the previous results. So Here are the crt.sh results. Same results, but a couple of things it's doing. It's deduplicating, so it's removing all duplicates. It's sorting them in ABC order. And it's there's a small amount right now of regex to kind of get rid of some of these, like some of these links on the right side, the refer column was showing up in these results for some reason when I was scraping, so I had to do a little bit of regex to get rid of these. So kind of cleaned up, got rid of some of these dates in the results. So it just kind of cleans up, gets rid of some of the extra trash that we don't want to look at, don't need, and sorts through them, puts them in ABC order, and gets rid of the duplicates. So another nice benefit to using this tool that you don't get in just the normal output is that you get just groups. We can kind of see the internal naming convention sometimes. So these are all, like, for instance, Kubernetes images here, or instances, and they're all prepended by API, so that's kind of interesting. If you want to do some API testing, here you go: API native, API push, API SSP, API K8. So it kind of gives you some insights into some of their internal naming convention as well. We can go down, you can see a whole group here for this Helios stack. Not sure what it is. Oh, and by the way, these are all clickable URLs as well, so this is really basic right now. It's just going to show you which ones you've already visited. But here we go, this ID proxy, or not ID proxy, it's ID subdomain. This one's called ID proxy, that's what threw me off. But anyway, these are all prepended with ID, so they're probably sharing similar services in the background. Tool dev, tool dev, tool dev, tool dev. These are all probably sharing maybe some code base in the background or some similar services. It may just be hosted on the same box, same cluster. So we can move on to another domain just to kind of see more of it. Oh, and these are all clickable, by the way. So it makes it really easy to kind of keep track of where you are if you want to visit these in ABC order. So these may be, because they're somewhat related, these may be like SAML authentication requests with the same backend. That's interesting. That's something to keep in mind, to kind of see the web requests, post, GET requests, and see how services are interacting with each other. And then let's go to another massive one. What's another huge one we can search for? Say we do Yahoo. Yahoo's an absolutely massive list. This, I do have to fix this. It's showing a lot of email addresses in the results, and I didn't plan for that. I didn't know that wasn't showing up in any of the other searches I did. So we'll have to do a little bit of regex to kind of get rid of, to detect emails and get rid of those results. But if you look here, staging, ECS, but this list, there's no way you could ever look through all this manually. This is insane. So let's do the same search here, yahoo.com. Okay, so we're just gonna skip past these emails like I mentioned earlier. I'm gonna have to look up, just find a way to filter those out. But here are our subdomains here, starting with the A's. And again, if you're doing just naming convention, all Australia first. We have a couple beta pages, so that's interesting. These may have just some untested code that's just gone up. These would be good ones. There's a lot of them. This might be just a good daily routine to check all these beta domains every day, enumerate them, see if any changes happen. That could be some quick bounties if they forget. Maybe they've push some secret keys in a repo somewhere, that could be a quick win. And here are these beta ones. Let's say we were to test these. These are all clickable links here. So again, guys, we can just go down the line here, open all these. And you can see some of these are live. Okay, so these are all beta. What other like little clusters can we find here? Maybe a dev. Here are a few devs. Sure, let's take a look at some of these dev links. Developer. These are all interesting subdomains. We like seeing beta, early release, developer, test, admins, a big one. We get any admins? Yeah, we have a few admins. We have a lot of admins here. So we can test for email, arbitrary email, account takeovers, logic problems, SAML manipulation, SAML requests, forgery. Let's open some of these up here. Admin. So this just makes it kind of nice to have these sorted and grouped together. Like if you if you decide to attack a certain type of bug on one day, you may be looking for a certain type of portal. And we see a few of them open up here. Okay, these are off. We have one here, an Okta login. Okay, so what else can we find here? I thought I just saw config. And at least for me, I think when I'm trying to get used to or get familiar with a new program, I feel like this might help a lot. Just because of the naming convention thing, just having things sorted and kind of next to each other, helps you piece like these GQ1. That's got to be some kind of relationship between them. We see an Exchange server here, possibly. This may be a public-facing OWA for internal employees. MDM, a whole bunch of mobile device management. So this would be a major target to go after. This may give you internal IP addresses on mobile devices, accounts. If these aren't secure, who knows what they're sharing to their intranet that you may be able to access through these. It looks like these are locked down, but anyway, you get the point. It's just kind of just taking just how great of a tool crt.sh is and just giving it a GUI and just making it a little bit more accessible, a little easier to work with. And I'm going to add more features to it. I'm thinking about doing something like maybe a database. We can add a little local database in the background to save sessions. Maybe we can save programs individually. Maybe we can add comments. I want to do like a share button, maybe if there's a certain domain you're interested in, you have a bunch of notes in it, maybe like a tweet button, send it out to the Twitter cybersecurity community, one of the best and most amazing cybersecurity communities out there. Twitter's really, I spend hours on it every day just reading through people's findings and reports. But anyway, yeah, I guess my next step, I didn't know these emails were showing up in here. So I may go through, just add some more filtering to get rid of these emails and the results. But let me know what you guys think. If I get enough requests, maybe I may package this kind of, it's just like a beta, like a little test version, and just package a basic jar with just this limited functionality as it is now, and I may start sending it to just some of the bug bounty hunters out there to test and let me know what they think. See if I can get some feedback on it, any requests I may want to see. Here's a whole group of these staging. You can look through these, see what they do. Anyways, guys, just I'll do a more in-depth video on the actual Java code behind it, and one of my ultimate goals is actually to do a Udemy class and add projects like this. I want to do about 10 projects like this, teach you how to do everything from intro and fundamentals of Java and object-oriented programming, kind of just show you how to work with, manipulate, write, edit code yourself. And Java, because it's cross-platform, and if you're running Kali, a lot of your tools already run on Java. Burp Suite, Dirtbuster. There's a lot of GUI-based tools out there because of the cross-platform ability. And Java's really not that bad of a language, as much as people like to make fun of it or whatever. It's really not that terrible. I mean, you do write a whole lot more boilerplate code than you would in something like Python or Go, maybe. But I have no complaints. It's really not that bad. I have a bachelor's degree in software development. It was all Java, so. But I'm planning on teaching it, like just getting you just where you need to be to just make your own tools, and then also walk you through all the steps of building something like this. So be on the lookout for that. Just more coding. I think that's kind of the angle I'm going to tackle. I'm learning penetration testing, web app security. I've submitted bounties, reports. I have a few in the queue right now, but I think my biggest strength right now is probably just using these programming skills to come up with just tools and updating tools out there, kind of streamlining methods, and something that I think is very, very helpful, very useful to be able to generate your own tools when you need them. So just be on the lookout, guys. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. And just let me know what you think.